We are now recording, everybody. So, um, Daza, would you like to read? I want to make sure I get this last statement. Um,
Mhm. Hmm?
so Gungnir will turn to face Hadaza. I have had a chance to review the asset. However, how we play the game, how we play our cards, that is a decision that I believe is best left to the organics.
You're absolutely right. Ultimately, the decision is mine or mine and Durro's, depending on how it all pans out. But have a report laid out, to have those strategies laid out so that I can go to him and say, these are our options, this is what I'm thinking. Be informed. Works in our favor, especially if we're going to be undertaking, you said, a long campaign. But Krieg is right. If we can take out the flagship, stand a chance.
Are we assuming the ship parked over the Gungnir is the flagship?
No.
Do we
No,
know?
we
Sorry. Continue.
no. I'm going to assume that one of the ships in orbit, and deeper in the system, is actually the one we want. Can't imagine the Queen would be this close, and certainly not be able to do the kind of damage that she's done.
Huh. So you want me to assess a strategy based on an enemy we know nothing about?
I see your point. And, in truth, she may not be an enemy by the time the negotiations are over. I don't know what he has planned.
Then might I suggest your very first card you play is intelligence gathering.
Not in the hand that you dealt me earlier, but you're not wrong.
Those were merely suggestions, not actual assets available.
She'll turn to Krieg. If you'll excuse me, I need to have a conversation with someone.
Chris gave her a nod of acknowledgement. We had to drain the fuel tanks to be able to make repairs anyway, so that would be the primary focus for him.
And she'll turn to leave the room.
Gungnir will turn to Krisk. I will continue repairs on the fuel exchange manifold.
Well, it's understood.
Before she steps out, she'll say to Gunir, I need you to operate the ECD, to activate the ECD.
I assume that you have not set up authorization codes yet.
Correct.
Do make sure that you and Captain Thaltanis corrects this oversight. Authorization codes prevent just anybody from giving that command.
Understood. Thank you for your security.
Handyman was right. In time, you organics will come around to see the value of a site security system over individual perceptions of privacy.
She chuckles. Somehow I don't think that that is going to be the reality of the situation. Here we are nonetheless. Gannick's trust, Gunyer.
Give me a few minutes and I'll have the ECDs activated.
Thank you.
And you see her pull out a small transmitter, start to set it up, wire it into her own power supply. And she activates a access port on her arm, plugs in. And you could see her processing the commands, and you feel a slight tingling sensation and just behind your right ear. And everybody in the party, Tasara, Durro, Astra, who is currently asleep, so she wouldn't feel it, all feel this tingling sensation at the back of just behind their right ear. And
Okay.
just so you guys know, it is 5 a.m. local time for the party.
So they're activated?
Yes, they are activated. It's a group conversation, so be mindful.
So everyone can hear what I'm saying right now.
Yes.
Tasara has clamped her hand over her mouth to keep from squeaking.
By the way, you guys hear Hodge say, so they're activated. Everybody can hear me.
Oh god, it's happening. They're hatching!
I don't think you can hear them. You have a tracker, not an earpiece.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
How passed out is Astra at this point?
She is not awake. She is sleeping.
So it's not gonna wake her up.
Right. So you guys hear it just behind the right ear.
Haj? What the hell is going on?
TLDR. I will explain later.
All right.
When the negotiations are complete and you know where the Queen stands, let me know. Want to work to liberate the planet. If we don't have to, it changes things.
Durro, you can hear this.
Right, sorry, I was having some connection issues. I Her statement was garbled.
So
Let me know.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead. No, please, Traveler, go ahead.
So before Hodge gives her statement, what Durro hears is anything spoken by Tasara or Hodge. And whatever basically whatever you three are saying, the other two are hearing. Think of it like a party line. Go ahead, Hodge.
Let me know the outcome of your negotiations with the Queen, your conversations with her. If they fall in our favor, more's the better. If they don't, working with Gunyer, no more children are going to die on my watch. Liberate the planet.
All right, I will keep you appraised.
Safe. And she'll look at Gunir, and she'll have one other thing to say to Tassara before she does. Looks like it's going to be another several hours before this thing is flight worthy. Hang tight. See you soon.
Wait, I have one question.
Yes?
If others speak to us, can everybody else hear what they're saying? Or is it just between us?
What do you mean?
If I say something to Cheery, for instance, and she replies to me, will you be able to hear Cheery?
Don't know. Here, say something.
Well, everybody's asleep right now. It is 5 a.m.
I've been up all night.
You need to get some rest, Haj. You're not going to be on your game if you haven't slept.
Reese and I are doing all right. Repairs are almost done. It'll be another few hours.
All right.
You hear Gungnir, well, Hodge, you hear it, nobody else does. The repairs will be more than a few hours. Estimated repair time is still over 10 hours.
We hear a sigh. 10 hours. Be at it for another 10 hours. Tassara, do you have everything you need to last that long?
Well, I still have some food, but I don't have anything to drink. And I don't know where we could even chance it to get some. I packed a huge amount of food in my bag, but I didn't think we would be here that long.
Neither did I. See if we can't shave some time.
All right.
Tight. And she'll look at Gunir. How do we turn these things off?
And you see her go through the process. And within about a few minutes, everybody feels that same tingling sensation.
That was disconcerting.
Why?
The only time I ever have anyone wandering around in my head is when they're actually wandering around in my head. To have them merely in my ear is a strange sensation.
It is an invention of handyman. Ever since the conception of having a crew for the Gungnir, the professor had always wanted to make sure that there was a way for the crew to communicate that would be covert in the event that the ship was otherwise captured and the crew in a way to revive them.
A amazing invention. He did well. Oh, I'm concerned I didn't hear Astra.
Her ECD did function correctly.
I realize it's 5 a.m., but it's disconcerting.
It is possible that has otherwise been, say, neutralized. We are too far away from the Gungnir get an accurate medical readout from her droid. If we're aboard the Gungnir, Handyman can pull that data.
Can you not communicate with Handyman from here?
Has since gone silent.
Additionally disconcerting.
His last report was that Sith had occupied the Gungnir.
Understood. We don't want him damaged. Or otherwise indisposed.
Understood. It might be beneficial for us to get exterior eyes on.
What do you propose?
Is Master Anarin able to move in where she could observe what's going on?
Excellent question. She's deep in those tunnels, as you know. She also needs supplies. She won't last 10 hours without water.
I don't think to bring water.
She did. It wasn't enough for the duration that we've been away.
Then
And little girls, they drink a lot.
they'll have to learn to ration.
And it's very hard to do with children. They are a demanding lot.
There is another option.
She'll look at him. That is,
One of us stays and continues working, the other brings the supplies needed.
That is an ill-conceived notion. We are several hours away.
regrettably, I agree with Gunir.
The better option is Master Anarin is going to have to solve the problem.
And if she can find a way to get eyes on the Gunir, where's the better?
Play our card. Intelligence.
She'll pop the comlink open. Sarah?
She gets up quickly and steps away so that she's not like talking so loud that the girls will wake up, and says, "I'm here."
Need some milk for those cookies. I understand there are some near the kitchen.
She frowns for a minute, then says, "Wouldn't I need to pack up those cookies and take them with me?"
Seems ill-advised. Cookies don't travel well. They tend to crumble. The kitchen really isn't that far. I'm sure you could get milk and, check for rats and then get back quickly.
Um, out of character for just a moment. You're making it sound like she's supposed to go to the Gungnir and go to the kitchen in the Gungnir.
No.
Yeah, that's what she thinks you're saying, and she doesn't dare ask because you're masking what we're really talking about.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm going to throw a flag on that one there. Because Hodge is intentionally talking in code, and if that is a perception Tassara has, that's the perception Tassara is going to have to go with. I'm going to veto the out of character comments. Play characters based off of the scenario.
Okay, that's legit. All right. I wasn't aware that the kitchen was a place I could go, but I will do that.
Well, there's visual confirmation. Rats in the kitchen. Just need you to Test and make sure that it's not been overrun while you're getting the milk for the cookies. Come back with rat poison soon.
Will do.
And she'll clip off the comm link. Okay, and she'll look at Krisk and Gungnir. Let's get to it. Let's see if we can shave some of that 10 hours.
Your optimism is. He pauses, thinking for the word admirable. Foolish, but admirable.
There should be a primary and secondary tank. How far do we actually have to fly this ship?
It is irrelevant how far we have. It is the main manifold that need to be repaired.
So there's no easy bypass and backdooring it.
There are ways of bypassing, but those bypasses take longer than simply just manifold.
I'll get started then.
There is something else we could do.
Yes, Gungnir.
We have drones. There is enough power to remote one drone. Want information? Trying to collect that. Careful not to get spotted.
Drone is less likely to get spotted than Tosara is.
Not what I was thinking.
Aren't that long range. I mean, we'd have to. We command those drones here based with the repairs that we've done thus far?
We can have enough power to command one
As you said. It would scout the city.
or space around the planet looking for a flagship.
I think it's that close.
It would have to be if it made a strike on the planet.
Small drone like that, it'd fly under radar without any problem.
Let's hope. In the meantime,
Get so.
I will get started on repairs with Frisk. He's an interesting creature. I enjoy observing him. Can't wait for Handyman to see what goes on inside.
She rolls her eyes and pinches the bridge of her nose. He's not signed that contract. Handyman will do no such thing.
Has he signed the contract?
No.
Then he's not a member of the crew. We have dissected many alien species.
Not. No. Yes, no. So long as there's breath in his body, you will do no such thing. And you're not allowed to take it either.
I was going to say, that's an easy obstacle to overcome.
Hence the caveat on that statement.
Well then, it appears we'll have to just wait for him to die.
Let's not rush that, if you don't mind.
As Handyman would say, all for the advancement of science.
Tell you what. Next Bakash body we come on, you can take it with you.
I believe Handyman would be very grateful at that.
Fine. The next dead body. Let me put that caveat out there as well. The next dead body.
And who
Handyman
said,
doesn't get to kill it and then dissect it.
and who said that you were not a reasonable person?
With him, make the repairs.
You are quickly becoming my favorite of the organics.
She looks really confused at that statement. Thank you? Please assist Chris with whatever he needs, Guinir. I will go look at these controls with the drone and see what I can manage with regards to figuring out how they fly.
Of course.
And she'll pore over the technology and see if she can figure out how it works.
Okay. It's pretty crude. I mean, even for your understanding, but gratefully, because it is crude, should be able to operate it pretty nicely.
And she'll launch one.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pause you there, and we're gonna bounce over to Tesara.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to go to Durro because it's already 8 and time flies really fast?
Okay, we can go to Durro.
Is Durro ready?
Question: is Durro ready?
I was fine just listening.
Does that mean you don't want to go?
I will go if that is where everyone else wants to take it. I understood that this scene is kind of um, intertwined, these two, and so I was okay just continuing the natural progression.
Okay, then I'm going to leave it up to Mike.
All right, we'll bounce up to Tesara.
So it's still around 5 a.m., right?
Yes.
Okay. So are the girls asleep, hopefully?
Uh, the vast majority of them are. Cheery is kind of lightly sleeping, doing her best to help you on guard.
So she'll get up and tap Cheery lightly on the shoulder and ask her to follow her um, far enough away so that they can still see the girls but not be easily overheard.
Okay.
I'm sorry to wake you up. I know it's late or early.
It's okay.
I've had a communication from Haj. They're going to be doing repairs on that ship for quite a long time now, maybe another 10 hours. And she's asked me to go try and check out what things are doing on the Gungnir, which means leaving you here alone. I don't like to do that, but I don't have much of a choice right now.
I'm Padawan.
Yes, you are, and that's why I'm talking to you and not your sisters. She smiles at her.
He smiles back. I got this.
I don't know how long I'll be gone, but hopefully not very long. I also need to figure out how to get us some water because we still have food left, but we're going to need something to drink soon. I'm going to I'm going to leave my comm link with you so that you can communicate with Haj.
Yes, of course. Tries not to look nervous until she is.
She gives her a hug. I will only be gone a little while. Stay safe.
Be safe.
So Tisara picks up her let's see, Haj has the blaster. So she has her bow and her lightsaber.
Okay. As you're getting ready to go, Cheery will stop you and say, "And Tasara,
And she smiles at her. You as well, Cheery. And she clips the lightsaber to her belt, puts her bow and arrow, her quiver on her back, and heads out. She heads back the way that they came, but she's being very, 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 very cautious. Let me know if you need me to roll anything, but she's going to move and listen to see if she can hear anything, and then move and then listen, etc. She's not just going to walk.
you don't hear anything. You don't see anything.
And she's still in the caves, the crystals.
Yeah, which is odd because as you're moving, well, no, you've already moved past the cave with the crystals into the into uh into the sewer system. I'm not searching for you. Not in this area.
So she keeps going, and she's looking for the place where she brought um the top of the cave onto that machine that was trying to get through.
After a little bit of time, give me a search check. Not a search check. I'm sorry. Yeah, survival check.
I got more in search. Okay.
Fortunately, it's a search. Or, I mean, it's survival.
19.
So after a little time, you do manage to find the place. It's clearly been dug out, and you can see where things have been removed from it.
Okay. She'll continue on. She's looking for a way to possibly see if there's any like underwater streams or anything that might have water that would be safe to drink.
It's a sewer.
Then the answer is no.
No,
Ew!
it's a sewer. There's water everywhere, but
Gray
sewer.
water.
Like
Water,
water everywhere, but
not a drop to drink.
not a drop to drink. Thank you, Durro.
So she continues on until she reaches the place where they dropped down.
Okay. You do find a place where you guys there's ladders everywhere. So you don't have to worry about that. There you can find a ladder going up everywhere.
Oh, that's different. Okay, I didn't know that. So let me back up a little if you'll let me.
Sure.
She is going to find a ladder that's about, to her memory, if like, okay, hold on. She goes to where she thinks that they came down out of the Gomir, but then back I want to say backspace, but it's not right. She treks backwards about I would say maybe 20 yards, and finds a ladder there.
Okay.
It might be the similar one that she crawled up to see Astra fighting Quinn, if she can find that one.
Give me an intelligence check.
11.
Yeah, you managed to locate it. It takes a little longer than you expected, but you do manage to locate it. It's roughly about an hour to an hour and a half after your communication. I'm sorry, with Hodge.
Okay, so she climbs up the ladder, and I'd like to roll a sense.
Okay.
That's intelligence again, right?
Senses wisdom.
What would it get her if I succeed? Like, would she be able to sense if there's anybody close to the manhole where she's about to lift?
That. Okay, so you're trying to see if it's clear on the other side, right? You're looking for life
Yeah.
forms. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a C force. So go ahead and roll C force.
19.
So reaching through the force and searching, you do manage to search around it. You don't sense any living creatures on the other side of the manhole.
Use of the word living makes me pause, but
Hmm.
all right. So she gets right up underneath the manhole cover and lifts one end of it up enough to literally like put one eyeball out, like maybe an inch.
You don't see anything in the hangar.
There's the direction that she's looking. Okay, so she's going to close it and turn to the other side and do the same thing.
Okay, and as you search that area, see a small astromech droid tending to one of the craft. I'm sorry. Let me back up. You see a small creature. You're not sure if it's it's definitely not a Pakash. Definitely not Sith. Working on one of the fighters.
You said she can tell he's not Sith,
Yeah, he's definitely not Sith.
but he's not Bakash either.
No.
Okay, what is he dressed in?
Maintenance clothes.
Okay, so can she gauge from where she is if she was to lift this manhole cover and slip out? Would he see her?
Possible.
Right, because of the noise of the thing.
Right.
Okay, so she's going to lift the manhole cover just enough to get like an aim, if you will, and then sees like either a hammer or a wrench or something near him. And I want to roll move object to toss it in the other direction.
Okay. You can do that. And
14.
and the hammer bounces around and skids and spins down the thing. Makes a good distraction, and he looks around and you hear him grumbling, and he kind of heads over to in the direction of where the sound has originated from, away from you.
Okay, so she slips out of the manhole cover and sets it back down as quietly as she can, even if she has to use the force.
Right.
All right, I'm going to also put on, I think it's force defense that cloaks her so that nobody knows that she's force sensitive, right?
That would be for stealth, not.
Okay, can I just take 10 on that or do I have to roll it?
No, you can definitely take 10.
Okay, so she gets out into, she's inside a hangar or she's outside on the spaceport?
She's inside a hangar.
Excellent. So she sort of scoots around the edge as quietly as she can to stay out of sight and peeks around to look at the Gungnir.
The Gungnir is surrounded by a group of Sith soldiers. There are those strange four-legged like badger creatures with the guns on their backs. It looks like it's currently being heavily guarded. Give me a spot check.
It's a 28 with a nat 20.
Okay, so you notice a group of people coming out of the Gungnir, and because it's a nat 20, this is the details I'm going to give you. Okay, there are several Sith soldiers in a protective position, guarding the individual coming in, not from attack from outside, but these two individuals, and they're broken up into two groups. You see what Quinn with a mask over part of his face. You recognize him, who is handcuffed behind him and being escorted.
Okay, wait. Being escorted off of the ship or
Yes.
onto the ship?
Off of the ship.
Awesome.
You see Vina in the middle, and then behind them, being kind of half carried, half, guarded, you see Clone Astra. And more importantly, she's holding her robes closed, but because you got a nat 20, you know that that she's not wearing anything underneath, and you've seen that look before on Hodge. Face looks pretty badly roughed up.
She, like, her fists tighten and she's contemplating putting an arrow through Vina. How far away is she?
About 300 yards.
Okay, before I do this stupid thing, I need to know, mechanically, with the bow and arrow that she's got, that she's had since childhood, if I would, okay, so I would have to roll the ranged weapon bow and arrow, right? And but I would be a called shot. Am I right?
Yes. If you're trying to hit the head, it would be a called shot.
How many other Sith warriors are with Vania?
There are 6 surrounding Quinn, 4 around Clone Astra.
All right. Pausing to poll the party.
I wouldn't recommend shooting and getting into a fight because you risk freeing Quinn.
I wouldn't recommend getting into a fight because you risk getting caught and leaving poor Freya on the boat.
Yeah, I was going to say it seems inadvisable to get into a fight and potentially leave the girls unprotected.
Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate the input. So she
Stop
waits,
overpaying.
and just watches where they're going.
They're heading to a nearby shuttle.
Okay. If she is to look at the Gungnir, those shields are closed, telling her whether or not somebody's on the bridge. She wouldn't be able to see in, right? Hello?
Sorry, I accidentally hit my thing. The bridge blast shields are currently open. And because you rolled a nat 20, I'm going to give it to you. It doesn't appear like there's anybody on the bridge.
Okay. So she sort of hunkers down, out of sight of the mechanic that she distracted earlier, but also out of sight of anybody. Like she just finds a place to sit and watch. She waits until they get on that shuttle. Does that shuttle just take off?
Sorry about that. The moment they board, the shuttle departs.
How many Sith are outside the Gungnir?
They're roughly about maybe 35, give or take 5. The other thing you notice is the perimeter has all but been removed.
Right. Before, the ship was absolutely surrounded on every side. You said there's about 35.
Yeah, there's roughly about 35.
Are they still surrounding the entire ship, or is it just at the entrance and exit?
They look like they're right around the main vehicle bay. So they're kind of grouped in that area. The more interesting thing is you don't see any Sith. These are just their warriors.
Okay. Um she's pretty sure that there's no way to safely get back onto the Gungnir and back out again. That seems like way, 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 way too risky. Um, so she's going to start looking around the spaceport to see if there could be some kind of place to get water.
There's a large, not large, roughly about the size of Tassara. From, it stands on the ground, comes up. It's got this like bottle on top filled with water. Bottle's roughly about, I would say 5-6 gallons.
Okay, but she doesn't have anything to carry the water in. Are there buckets anywhere near in any of the spaceport hangars?
Um, there are, but looking at this thing, it looks like if you tilt the whole thing, you can pop the bottle off. It'll be a little messy, but you can pop the bottle off.
Okay, so I would like to do that, but I also would like to know the percentage of the chance that she will be seen doing this.
Um, you are still in the hangar where the tech was working that you distracted.
Is this bubbler in the same hangar?
It is. You haven't left the hangar yet.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify because All right, so she's going to sneak round to the bubbler.
Okay.
Does she see or hear the mechanic?
Give me a listen check and a spot check.
Listen, 11. Let me get, you said spot?
Yes.
Gun owners know that total concealment of your firearm is a tactical advantage.
Listen, 11, 17 spot.
You don't hear him. Definitely don't see him. Wait. Hold on. He's heading back to the ship he was working on. Looks grumbling.
I gotta ask an out of character question of the storyteller because this is something I seriously don't know. But I, in the past, have heard people talk about putting somebody to sleep, like a forced sleep. But I don't see that anywhere on my character sheet. Is that something that I would have? And if so, what is it?
It's called Affect Mind.
Okay, so if I wanted to do that and put him to sleep, I'd have to roll affect mind.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Okay. You're gonna position yourself somewhere to kind of surprise them and do the effect mine?
Yes, and I just rolled 19 on effect mine.
Okay. So go ahead and do your thing.
So she puts him to sleep.
Yeah. I was gonna give you an opportunity to make a little quirky little statement like you feel tired, and then
Oh, I see. Sorry. Okay, in character, she says, and you'll have peaceful dreams.
he just kind of falls asleep.
And she rushes over. She gets the water bottle. It's awkward. She spills some, and then quickly hefts it over to the manhole cover, pulls up the manhole cover, and awkwardly and painfully makes her way down the ladder with the water.
Okay.
Puts the manhole cover back on.
Yep.
And she gets down, she sets the water down, and she takes a few minutes to catch her breath because she was doing that quickly, and then starts as quickly as possible making her way back to the girls with the water.
Okay. Then you make it back safely without any issues.
Oh my god. So she sets down the water. She grins at Cheery. She's covered in sweat. she takes the comlink and says, "Water had water achieved. Report on the Gungnir." And I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'd like to back that up. Sorry. I've got the water for the cookie batch.
Cherry leans over. Don't you mean milk?
Milk. I've got the milk for the cookies. She says this into her comm.
And she looks at you again, and you didn't get cups?
Um,
She starts laughing.
Hey, co-baker. Hodge, you're on mute. I'm trying to get your attention.
Yes?
Milk for the cookies has been achieved, and the kitchen had some occupants in it, but they left. But there's still some people around. They're trying to, get an idea of what kind of cookies we're going to be making.
See.
But that thing that you did earlier, that
Yes?
masterpiece of baking. If you want to turn that on again, we'll whip up another batch.
Ah, I'll have to find the chef responsible for that recipe. Give me a few minutes.
Great. And
Switch off the comlink.
she sits down heavily and she's like wiping, like she's pulling up her hair, going, "Oh my gosh!" And she looks at Cheery. Cups, really?
What? You can't possibly imagine us to drink it from our hands.
I'll figure something out.
Astra would have got cups.
Yes, she's probably much better at this than me.
He laughs. Not really, but still.
I'll find a way, I promise.
I'm just joking. We'll figure it out.
Well, the kittens also needed water.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so does that end our scene?
That does. We're gonna jump up to Durro. You're out of time, buddy. Time for breakfast.
Well, hopefully he at least got a good workout in.
He did. He is in his quarters, showered, getting ready for the day. There's a knock at the door.
He will finish up what he's doing and go answer.
There is a young Sith warrior, female. She bows respectfully. An invitation for breakfast has been extended by our queen.
I see. Well, better late than never, I suppose. I thought we were supposed to do dinner last night.
Unfortunately, she was preoccupied with affairs of state.
Is that what we're calling it now? All right, I will be there.
Thank you. I'll wait outside. When you're ready, I will.
Durro will nod, go back into his quarters, make sure he has everything, which is basically everything he came with, and return to the hall.
She's waiting, as promised. She can't be more
But
than
lead the way.
15, 16. She's young for a warrior. She's nonetheless dressed like a warrior, right down to blaster on her back.
I mean, Durro cannot say much. The Jedi start him young. Why shouldn't the Sith?
And she'll escort you in silence unless you want to speak to her through the ship to a grand uh to a grand set of chambers, and one of them that she leads you to is it's a dining hall. The table's definitely small for the hall. It's almost like what you would see an intimate corner in a restaurant. It's finely set. The queen is standing patiently beside her chair, and there are servers dressed in white. That's how the queen looks.
You just enjoyed posting that picture over and over again.
Well, trust me, the fan art for this is kind of crappy, and only so few pictures of this particular character I have.
Well, I hope I didn't keep you waiting too long.
No, you didn't. Give me a spot check.
Five, not one.
Uh
We are off to a flying start.
Better to get them out of the way now than later. Shall we? He says, motioning to the table.
And Durro will nod and take a seat.
And the servers walk up with two plates, and they set one in front of her, and the very traditional breakfast that Durro's familiar with. He's had something very similar at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, eating the same thing.
So, pressing affairs of state.
You might say I was dealing with the very future of my empire.
It is always curious to see what takes priority over, well, the game that you were so intent that we have.
Make no mistake, this engagement is the utmost importance for me. And I've recently learned it is interwoven with the destiny of my empire. How would you say it? Stakes. So much.
Well, steaks are for dinner, Your Highness. This is breakfast.
Let's hope so. Did you sleep well?
As well as could be expected.
Was there something not satisfactory? Did my servants fail you?
No, not at all. There is simply a lot happening right now.
There is. I regret to agree with you. I had hoped that the evening would be quiet and calm for you. Unfortunately, I'm certain it wasn't. Equally sad it wasn't for me. Surprising development. Surprised me. He laughs. A little redundant, say.
Oh, nothing wrong with some superfluous redundancies.
What do the Bakash mean to you?
To me personally, truly not much. I have only visited their world once before, and have had limited dealings with their people.
They are quite resilient. If you're in this amphibians,
There are truly some interesting species in this galaxy. So it seems you prefer to have your eyes fixed on the future.
my eyes are always fixed on all possibilities, future, present. My predecessors, my rivals, failed to learn the warnings.
I see. But you do seem to have a keen eye for the future, not just of your empire, but of, shall we say, other realities.
Well, then wouldn't you mean universes?
Potato, potato.
You ever heard ancient?
Every race has its mythologies, beings that are older and more powerful than they, the ancients, those who came before, the forefathers. They go by many different names.
My mother was one of them. She lied about her origin, but her secrets are now known. They existed, Sithaltanas, the ancients. They are more powerful than wild dream. The very height of Sith and the Jedi are in comparison to a stroll they have.
All right, so ancient beings of unspeakable power. Your mother was one of these?
She was. They have the ability to see and walk to other universes. Crisscross, what did you say? Reality. reach that level. But I can see that other people. I know you're not from this universe. I know you came here. I don't know how you walked between reality. But I know the world you came from.
Well, breakfast tells me that a lot of your information is correct. The shuttle I was brought in on tells me that you did get some details wrong. Still, the effort is laudable.
What details did I get wrong?
The style of shuttle and markings, the First Galactic Empire, is definitely not something I would be comfortable associating with. From your perspective in this reality, it would be in the future. It was the successor state to the Republic, and one that was not friendly to the Jedi. The fact that you thought a shuttle with those symbols would make me comfortable is interesting.
Apologize for my mistake.
No, like I said, it was interesting. I was not put off by it.
The predecessor that used to run this organization. I believe you're familiar with Sheridan.
I am familiar.
She possessed the ability to walk between the realities. I cannot take credit for all that you see. She is the one who set upon the. She's the one that saw, took from your reality. Much of what you see,
Including technological advancements.
including
Very interesting. And if you did not set up this empire, how did you come to be in possession of it?
Rose was killed by Furious Chun. He did not survive. A secret that I plan to take with me. I don't believe spreading that. We're all living legends. I'm sure you. That said, with the death of Sheridan, her empire started to splinter. Stepped in, counseling. I forced the individual warlord. Those that wouldn't. I made a demonstration on races how nobody stand. One thing my mother did very well was that she would as easily earn the love and admiration.
And of what interest to your empire is this Sith empire. Why not just let it collapse?
Because it's mine now. Everything about it is mine. I find it interesting. The Crusade made Rose as an ultimate weapon to destroy the Jedi. They could not possibly imagine the powers they were dealing with across the ether, pulled her into being. In doing so, they created a monster that they couldn't control. And when Rose went on her rampage, they liberated another monster from the Jedi's most secret, hardened prison to destroy her. Something about their.
Yes, because one failed experiment got out of hand. The only sane way to deal with that is to unleash another experiment.
Indeed. And so, everything that Rose created was thanks to the Crusade. And now it's all mine.
Well, congratulations, a fledgling empire, all your. What will you do now that you have achieved unimaginable power?
I am far. Fortunately, I. But thanks to last night's conversations, stand such a demise waited, but it leaves me in a painful situation.
And what situation is that?
I spent all night contemplating, meditating. I can avoid my death only to succumb to call her Laura, or can join your crusade against her and face my demise at the end of the war.
And that decision bothers
It's sorry, I had an interruption over here. Can you please restate your last statement?
you. And that decision bothers you.
It does. Why wouldn't it? I want to join your crusade, but there are problems, personal defects within you that leave me to.
Well, now I am curious. What do you see as these major personal defects?
You. Pauses. When you see me, what do you see? Sith Altana. Mind you, this is a serious question. We are game.
Oh, I never doubted the game started as soon as I entered the room, possibly even before. I look at you and I see a young woman struggling to live up to the expectations placed upon her, amassing power to fight what she sees to be the ultimate battle, but unwilling to give her life in the victory that she so desperately desires. You wish to have both victory and your continued existence. You are, as most beings are, afraid to die.
Elegant, thoughtful. Not quite what I was looking. I am darkness, Master Theltanus. I know this now. Every weave that the Force has done along my journey, hardship, challenge, every death, murder, has been to create me. Darkness, but without light, it's all there is. There's no measure to the darkness. There's no depth, just darkness. There has to be some balance. There has to be the light, the fade, night, the hope the beings have in the dead of night. One point, morning will come. I want you, Master Theltanus, to be my light, but I don't see you like the beacon light need you to be. Here. She waves, brings up her hand, and snaps her fingers, and in walks a man with a chiss boy. Tell me a secret, Master Theltan. Tell me a secret that would make your friends weaker. I'll spare this child's life. And on that, man grabs the chiss boy by the throat and lifts him off the ground. Well, you can protect your friends and your planet. Let this child.
This really isn't necessary.
You must be tested. Your purity must be assured. I will not fight beside those who are weak and unwilling to rise to the occasion. You can hear the boy struggling and choking as he's hitting the large hand, suspending him in the air. Choose, Master Theltanus, this child's life or a secret to your party. What damage could it do?
If Durro gathers the force, what can he sense about the person holding the boy?
He is definitely a Sith. He is force sensitive. You're not familiar with the race. He's got almost like a stone-like hand. The best way to describe him would be like Thing from Fantastic Four, except a little taller.
All right, fine. You want a secret?
She'll motion with a finger, and he'll put the boy down, but hold on to him.
There is another.
Another?
My former apprentice, the one you want me to hand over. A clone of her has recently surfaced. I believe a creation of the Crusade.
She appears unsurprised.
Durro gives a half smile, but you already knew this.
The conversation I'm sorry. You wouldn't say that. Conversation from Is this the secret you plan to offer to save the child's life?
Well, you asked how it would weaken our party. She believes that the Astra that I brought with me is a clone and dangerous, and therefore she will do what she must to ensure my safety and the safety of those she sees as her family. Properly goaded, she could do a lot of damage. And
See,
goad manipulating seemed to be what you are best at. You have your secret. Now let the boy go.
I said I'd let him live. I didn't say I'd let him go. Waves a hand and they You see, you can be brought to rise to the occasion. It's a good sign.
Yes, well, I prefer when people speak frankly and do not stoop to manipulative tactics.
Fine. Let's speak frankly. You first.
You yourself said that you wish to join the fight against Melora.
You. Melora must be stopped. More than get an end.
On that we can both agree. You don't have to manipulate me or attempt to manipulate those I care about to get my help. I believe that there is a agreement that will be mutually beneficial that can be reached.
She leans forward and places her elbows on. I'm all.
What exactly is stopping you from joining the fight against Melora? Is it only your own death, or is there more?
I recently discovered how, when, where, time. Up till yesterday. Sorry. Up till last night. That part was if the Force itself refused to let me see it. But truth be told, the thought not lied to you. In fact, since you and your apprentice came aboard, I have not spoken one ill truth. You may not like what I have to say. I don't care if you agree or not, but it is the truth. I want to make sure you are my balance. I care not for the Pakash. Whether they live or die is irrelevant. I can just as easily return to my borders as I can vaporize their entire culture. It's up to you. You are willing to sacrifice to be a hero. A sacrifice that only you can make. And no, don't hide behind it's their decision. You, Mr. I led troops in the great, what is it? Duplicate war? Is that what they called it? Or was it by a different name?
The Clone Wars.
You led men to their deaths. This much I've seen. So you can easily order one of yours to be sacrificed. But do you have it in you? That's what I want to see.
Durro will close his eyes and look down for a moment. And when he looks back up, he says, I do have it in me. I can do it again if I must. But it is something I would rather not do. Having to order men to their deaths, to give the order knowing that it means they will not come back, and in many cases, them knowing they will not come back. It damages your soul in a way that is irrevocable. It was terrible then, and it will be terrible again. Can I do it if I have to? Yes. But I will always search for the alternate path first.
Such the burden of being a beacon of light. You remember the first question I asked you?
You asked me if I could sacrifice one to save thousands.
I asked you, how many lives are you willing to save? Says with a frown.
Ah, yes. How many lives would I like to save? I said I would like to save all of them. Or at least if possible.
And I would happily. However, fate has frowned on both of us. We have a decision to make, you and I. And she taps the table, and a holoprojector brings up two distinct areas. One looks like a place in a city, with red dots gathering. The other one looks like deep space, and the two Pakash patrol frigates. It would appear we have the next round of our game. On the planet's surface, a group of Pakash have decided to try to protest my occupation of the world, the city. Interesting action. They apparently led by religious order. Passes burns on. Still, They are to cause instability. On the other hand, these two frigates, they have attempted to slip in past my patrol ships. I have since allowed them nation point, attempting to siege. Not sure why they're here. I can only assume they're to gather primitive drone. Possibly setting up grand. I can destroy both. Decided something better. You can decide who lives and who dies. You must only choose one to survive, not both. Is it the warriors who sworn their lives to this cause, their mission fail? Or is it the peaceful protesters on the world? Who shall it be, Master Thaltana? Who shall live? Who shall die?
The warriors may have signed up to put themselves in the line of fire and to die, but surely you understand that there are no innocents in war. Once that first shot is fired, you can never predict who is going to die, or conversely, who is going to live.
I can assure you, if I give the order, those who I want dead will be dead. Survive. Sith. Exceptionally open.
And to remind me again why the civilians must die. The warships I can understand. The protesters?
Test for you. For me. Up to me. Paper I on to more interesting system of honored.
Well, you'll forgive me if I don't feel honored.
Apologize. It is my intention. Test.
Yes, well, it does not feel honorable to have to choose which of two parties are going to die. You say you want me to be a beacon of light, of hope, a hero, and yet you wish me to choose those who will die a violent death. Hardly seems heroic.
You could end game right now.
By surrendering Astra.
Ordering her.
Is that my only option?
Still close.
And yes, that is the key, isn't it? She is close to me, but she also has something that will benefit you.
Whatever she.
I see. So performing negotiations behind my back, playing the game while I am not at the table.
As I circumstance.
I see.
Fear not. Again, this is all choice before you. So, if I wanted her that badly, cared not, would have already.
Where is my apprentice?
Sleeping in bed, I am.
Was the invitation to breakfast not extended to her?
She was up exceptionally.
As
Plus,
were you, and yet here you are.
I am a head of state. Sleepless nights comes with the territory.
Actually, I've never been a head of state.
You are handsome. I, of course, filthy hybrid. Suppose we could keep her if you.
Durro will raise an eyebrow, but not rise to that comment. Right, so if I were to order Astra to do as you like, how would I do so? He'll make a show of looking around. She's sleeping in.
Is that what you?
I still think there are details to be hammered out, but you make a compelling point. There are times when one must rise to the occasion. I don't like it, but, and he looks at the hollow projector, I don't like the choices I'm being offered here either. Here, at least, I am ordering my own, who have agreed to follow my command. With this, he gestures to the hollow table, I'm making decisions for those who I've never met, and who don't even know I exist.
Now you have the first taste of what it means to be state. Often, barely know we our disaffected.
I always suspected there was a reason I had no desire to be a head of state.
Your apprentice, you already know. What details would you like to work out?
The boy that you threatened, I'd like him to come with me. As one of mine has said, no more children die on our watch.
You'll have to choose several. Apparently, it's worth a stop away. My property stolen. But if a single child is get my concession will order her to pay my
Counter my demands, and I suppose I'll just lay them all out. We can negotiate from there. The boy comes with me. I don't know what other children you have, but depending on the strength of what I have to offer, perhaps you stop abusing them to whatever purpose you think they serve. You leave the Prakash their world in peace. No genocide, no slaughter. You return to your own borders as you indicated. And perhaps you consider joining our fight against the swarm to ensure that the galaxy does not meet an untimely end to Melora's corruption.
You have 9 pieces of my Sith hunters are already searching. I'll call off my house. But you, God, swear to keep on the side of these pieces of property. Mine. Keep the 9. Plus the boy. Again, you'll choose. Chosen at random. That a fair concession.
It is. I'd like to have a look when when this is all over. Before I leave here, when we are finished negotiations. You said one out of several.
Sorry, say that again.
She said one out of several, so he said when the negotiations are over, he'd like to have a look,
That's fine.
to choose, as she is insisting.
Of course. You can take a look at save. For all I care.
Durro will sit back. Of course, I will also need interstellar data, clearly marked definition of your borders, the lines that we are not to cross.
Agreed. Give you my territorial. But no information with You'll have to advise the Bakash. Foolish. Try to seek revenge. There is nothing stopping me into extinction.
I will let them know. As for the rest,
Leans back in her chair and listens.
you leave the Prakash in peace, return to your own borders, and join us when requested in the fight against Melora.
I will be there. Travel time. Merchandise. A lot more. We won't be.
Hell, that is comforting. Now, in exchange for what I am asking, I am prepared to offer you something better than Astra.
She raises an eyebrow.
Oh, Astra is powerful to be sure, but she can only show you what is to come. Her skills are not developed enough to do what I know she is capable of. If you allow her to stay with us, I can offer you a way out.
I'm all.
A way to avoid your untimely demise and still fight with us against Melora. A way to change your fate, as it were.
So you wish not sacrifice.
She will be sacrificed. She will be ordered to go with you, to obey your every whim, and to do her utmost to help you avoid your fate. But right now, her skills are not where they need to be in order to perform that task. There is still training she needs.
See.
If you allow her to stay with us, I promise you, Astra Core, daughter of Queen Lenora Delphinium of Baklit, and adopted daughter of Lord Dooku of Sereno, fully trained and able to help you avoid your untimely demise.
Allow me think. In the meantime, put game. She activates her comlink. Lord Maria, there is a protest forming. We'll disperse them. Non-lethal force. Defend your troops. As long as they dismay only you. Non-lethal. She hits another button. Commander Alik. There are two Prakash patrol frigates in your sector. Drive them. Extreme prejudice. Turns it off. There, you bought yourself time and
Well, if it is as lavish as this breakfast, I look forward to it. May have to put in some extra hours in the gym, though.
I do have.
And I have an answer.
You just came from Origin. Do not.
Yes, we did.
What you see in the storm, if any.
I saw lots of blowing sand.
He frowns.
And a glimpse of my life's purpose.
She frowns. My sister said she saw the beginning. I never quite understood what that. I was hoping another master would clarify.
Sadly, such glimpses into the raw power of nature are often quite subjective. It is a riddle that may never be solved.
May not be. I hope to find her again. Mother valued her so, valued her counsel. I'm hoping that I'll be able to enjoy such counsel as well.
Perhaps one day.
She smiles. Perhaps. In the meantime, I have much to consider, and you have an apprentice to go wake. She'll slowly rise to her feet.
And Durro will as well. Bow respectfully to her.
She'll
Until lunch, your highness.
she'll match till lunch, Master Jedi. And she'll turn and start to walk away.
And Durro will eat as well.
All right. We're going to end that scene. Hodge.
Hmm?
So you were heading, what were you doing? I can't remember what you asked for first.
Drones. She was working on the drone.
Okay.
She
Wait.
asked Tassara to get water and to check on the ship. She's waiting to hear back from Tassara. And she was working on the drones while Krisk and Gunyer were working on the fuel what's-it.
Got it. Okay. So you do manage to get one of the drones aloft. Do you have piloting?
I do.
Roll piloting, please.
Oh. Problematic. One moment, please. I think she is pilot.
Oh, she has pilot.
In fact.
This is going to be a really short mission.
She does, in fact. $24.
Okay. So you managed to get aloft and you managed to break atmosphere. Drones are pretty nimble and they're really small, and you're pretty sure that they're, not able to be detected by the Sith ships. You're kind of familiar with it. Or you kind of believe that because they're not doing anything to stop you.
Okay.
And you do pick up a large group of ships just in between the orbit of the moon and this planet.
Mm-hmm.
You want to investigate?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I'll be right back. I'll be watching a YouTube video. One moment, please.
Only
So
two,
while
only 2
while I'm
minutes
doing
and
that,
yeah, it's only like 2 minutes 30 seconds, so it's not gonna take you long.
Can I
Kidding.
ask an out of character question while she's watching it?
Yep.
I know our characters wouldn't know, but where is the timeline? Like, Durro is having breakfast with the queen, and what time is it?
So
Even though they're not on a planet.
breakfast. So I'm running a linear timeline. Breakfast with the queen was roughly around 8 o'clock, 3 hours after Tassara's little thing.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. And this is taking place roughly about the same time Durro is having breakfast.
was I supposed to be watching that the whole time? You guys were talking? Go to Tassara while I'm watching this.
Like I said, it's only 2 minutes 30 seconds. It's really not that long.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to leave everybody on silence while I sit here and watch this thing go by.
I'm pretty sure everybody else is watching it too.
Alright, well... Oh, it's wicked loud.
I mean, I'm watching it.
It is literally one of the most beautiful fanships I have ever seen.
It's what Queen flagship is.
Yep, that's her flagship.
That's... compensating for something, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, she took her sister's galaxy hopping or universe hopping technology stealing abilities to a whole new level.
Indeed. Alright, so that's what is, covering... How many of those is in space? Planet?
What do you mean?
How many of those?
Just one.
Thank God. Okay. How many other of what size around it?
It's what you see in the video.
Oh, alright then.
Including the interdictor cruiser.
Including the interdictor cruiser.
Bugging me.
Now, Durro, you would know what a lot of these ships are.
Does Durro see all this?
No, I mean from his from the window of his room, he probably would. Probably not the interdictor because the
That is what I
interdictor's behind this ship.
Right.
Anytime I can like show off other people's work and get their work, more broadly viewed, that's what I love doing.
So I have this information now.
Yep.
It's not like she can drop the controller and be like walk away and stomp and swear. She's got to bring the drone back.
Yeah.
How close can she get it?
That flyby.
That's the flyby.
Yeah, that was literally the flyby of the drone.
Okay. So no getting inside open docking bays.
No.
Girl can dream.
Yep.
Okay.
It roughly takes you about an hour. So by the time you get the drone back, it'll be about 10 o'clock.
It was just 5 o'clock. All right.
No. It was 5 o'clock when you talked to Sarah. It took you about 3 to 3.5 hours to get the drone up ready. Because remember, you can't launch it from the ship. You got to take it out of the ship and launch and set the launcher up.
Okay. All right. So it's roughly 10 a.m.
Yep.
She'll take the information and bring it back in, assuming she can get past everything else without getting caught.
Yeah, and again, they do nothing to stop you.
All right. She'll take the drone back inside the Pakash ship. And she'll sit down on the floor once she's got this thing back in its docking station. Put her hand to a temple. Said Durro is still having breakfast with the queen.
You don't know that.
Thank you. She pulls out her comlink. Sara,
I'm here.
how's the milk?
The milk is excellent.
How's the kitchen?
Kitchen? It's a little dark. There's a lot of people in there.
So the rats are fully taken over the kitchen, have they?
You could say that. But, yeah. What I said earlier. That thing.
Oh, that thing. Darfane! One moment to close the comlink and go find get up to go find Gunyer.
You find Gunyer.
Gunyer, is it possible to activate ECD localized without bringing all of them online?
It is possible.
I want to talk to Sara.
Once we return to the Gungear communication station, we can activate an individual.
Not here.
No, not here.
Something wrong?
Yes. No, I don't know. I think I spotted what was the Queen's flagship.
Well, that's good news. Why do you look so upset?
It is overwhelming. And without being inside, there's no way I'm going to be able to get the recon necessary. I don't want to disrupt whatever Durro and Astra may be doing up there.
Then focus on what we can. Our goal is to get the ship up and running, and until they do what they need to do, our hands are tied.
Agreed. Sara needs to speak with me over the ECD, and the minute I open that link, I'm going to disrupt them. And the truth of the matter is that I need to have that information, both what they know and can tell me, as well as what Tassara knows. Engineer, open the link.
Of course. Give me a moment. So, Durro, what are you doing after you're escorted back to your seat?
Probably meditating, processing.
You're not gonna wake up Tassara or Astra?
Oh, right. I didn't realize the queen was literal when she meant that he had to go do it. Then yes, he will go check on.
Okay.
Do they share quarters or do they have separate quarters?
They share quarters.
Okay, well then yeah, he would have checked on her before trying to meditate. When I said he was meditating and processing information, it was because I thought they had separate quarters.
Right.
Okay, but yeah, if she's right there, yes, he will check on her and try to wake her up before doing anything else.
Okay. Astra, you're gently woken up.
She'll blink and look up. Meow.
If somebody was talking, I missed that there was a distraction.
Oh. Astra will blink and look up.
Good morning.
Master.
Yes, it is your master. I see you are out partying late last night.
Partying? I wouldn't call it that. A run-in with the Sith Queen, or with the Sith Queen, with, a run-in with Eshe? Yes.
I see. So out partying late with Eshe.
No.
But see, Eshe had the decency to wake up on time and make it breakfast.
Believe me, Master, if I were functioning this morning, I would have been there. As it was, she had, I needed her guards to carry me back here, essentially.
Well, you really did party hard, didn't you?
She, we talked, and she's a very interesting person. I don't think she's totally a Sith.
You did feel the dark side pouring off her in waves.
I didn't feel that.
Or
Just
perhaps you
because
missed when she referred to herself practically as darkness incarnate.
No, I got that too, thank you.
And yet you don't believe she is completely Sith. Durro sits back and smiles at her slightly. Of this I have to hear.
Sorry, the dog is being distracting. Anyways. Meow.
Well, that shut her up.
Would it be a fly on the wall to hear Astra meow at Durro?
I was trying to figure out what the heck was wrong with my mic, because everyone went silent, okay. She's kind and gentle, Master. She's not she's not entirely. I don't know how to explain it. She's also been hurt a great deal. her sister was sold into slavery by the hut, or to the huts by Rose, which is why she took over Rose's little empire. And she was one of, what is that girl's name? Eve. She was one of Eve's daughters that was kidnapped, and the man that kidnapped her, well, was not very kind. Either way, we had a long chat, and then she offered to show me how it was possible to check in on my daughter.
And there we have it. The temptation I always knew would lead you to the dark side.
I didn't do anything dark.
Not yet. But do you think the Queen turned Quinn by presenting him with some over-the-top, cheesy display of dark side power like something out of a holodrama?
Actually, we had quite the conversation about Quinn.
Well, yes, I'm sure you did.
Apparently, he turned to the dark side over. He's been messed up by obsession and jealousy are his issues. Either way, we saw my daughter, and then we saw Quinn harming the other Astra in your quarters. And then we accidentally jumped to the first time I was captured by Quinn, and an interesting scene between him and Ashante, which might explain Ashante's attitude towards Quinn. That's for another time. We also saw there's gonna be a huge fight, Master, with the swarm, and a black hole will erupt in the middle of the fight and pull everything in.
No, really, a big fight, you don't say. I thought I'd be able to sit Melora down over tea and we would discuss things like civilized people. I never expected a massive end times battle to decide the fate of all reality. Never even occurred to me.
The interesting thing is she knows how to do this kind of far-seeing, but she can't do it to the degree that I can.
So it seems you didn't learn your lesson with Master Palpatine. You allowed yet another Darksider to enter your mind, to wield your power with their understanding of it, to gain from you what they want, with the promise of giving you what you want. In this case, a glimpse at Raza.
Actually, she didn't do any of it. I did it well, she initiated she helped initiate the meditation, I guess would be the word. But from there, she only helped keep my emotions at bay. The rest of it was my doing, Master.
And you're positive about that, just as you were positive at what Master Palpatine was doing.
Yes. I know you're angry, Master. I did not make the best choice.
No, I'm not angry, but I am disappointed. I would have hoped you had learned your lesson after all of that.
Well, I didn't exactly go seeking her out. I didn't intend to speak to her at all. I went and spoke to Vina, and then I went to go check out those lizards and the trees.
And did you at least discover usable intelligence on the Force Void room?
I know that she has a chamber underneath the floor of that room, under the game table. And there you can definitely use the Force.
And did that help you determine how the Force negative bubble is created?
Unfortunately, no. The plants, the animals, they're all artificial though. She created them. They're from a book series that she used to love as a child.
So she created them.
Mm-hmm. I do not know how, but she created them.
Curious. So that's all the intelligence you gathered from her, aside from her backstory and how she turned Quinn.
Well, I know she's looking to test you.
Really, I hadn't figured that out either. All valuable intelligence indeed.
Durro, Astra,
Yeah.
right behind your right ear, that prickly sensation again. Hear Hodge's voice.
Okay, Tassara, you got your wish.
That means everybody can hear us, right?
That's
How is
correct.
this happening?
Oh, that tells me Astra's still alive.
Small favors.
Yeah, she did party hard last night with the Sith Queen.
With the Sith Queen? Astra.
What?
I did not intend to even speak to her last night.
Yes, you should see the ungodly hour that she crept back into our quarters.
I didn't exactly creep. Her guards had to carry me, thank you.
Okay,
Oh,
but this.
even better. She slept right through breakfast.
So somehow we're able to communicate with each other, though I've no idea how, but apparently nobody can hear us but each other. So we're going to have to use this. This is like, hopefully nobody can detect this, but I did get a look at the Gungnir from a distance, and it is surrounded right now. I saw Quinn and the other Astra being led away from the Gungnir. They got into a shuttle and headed off. My assumption is their shuttle is going to the Sith Queen's ship. So you should expect Quinn and the other Astra and Vania to arrive any moment. As far as the Gungnir, from what I can tell, surrounded by about 35 guards who aren't necessarily Sith, but they're warrior guards. I don't know if anybody is still inside. I didn't dare push it that far. The girls now have water, and we are still here in the caves.
She did rescue her. Thank goodness.
You knew about that?
We did
Long
some
story, and she can
specialized
relay it
fire
when we are back together.
Should let you know that anyone who is listening can hear your side of the conversation but not ours. So it sounds like you are talking to each other and to Sarah like you are talking to the cookies. Though the
No,
cookies are probably looking at you like you're confused.
Yes,
quick,
but that doesn't really matter, does it?
quick question. Our new guest. Do we know anything about his missing child?
Oh,
Just that the child is not his by birth. It was his wife's, and he adopted him. She was off-worlder,
So not Prakash.
not Prakash.
And we are certain that his child is on the Queen's ship.
Only thing we know for a fact is that Venia took him.
Now,
Beyond that, I know.
is the Queen's flagship. I was able
Well,
to negotiate the safety of one child of my choosing. She apparently has several aboard.
we
I will
also.
trust the Force's guidance in that matter.
Well, he's standing right here. I can ask him. Please,
Oh,
what can you tell me about your son?
Okay, I actually have to talk to Mike via PM because there are details that I have to be very careful about.
Okay.
Ooh, top secret.
All right.
He's got a birthmark behind his left ear that, when triggered, gives him godlike powers that will defeat the swarm.
he's
But if
not
anyone knows
actually
about them before it's time,
sleeping.
then those powers vanish, and he collapses into a singularity that destroys all life as we know it.
But I gotta wait until I get close to everyone so I can get you all at the same time.
Does that really matter when the singularity consumes the entire universe?
Depends on how fast it expands.
Fair point. All right, I will point out it is after 10 and I need to be going to bed. So if we could wrap up this conversation.
Let me go ahead and work with Chris on his section. We skip that and then get through the briefing so Durro can go to bed.
Sounds great.
Yes, because I also need to get to bed.
All right, so we are assuming that Chris gave him details that will help identify his son, but we are out of character waiting for those details to be set down.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so on to our next order of business.
The Prakash ship, Priest's ship, is about 10 hours from being ready, flight worthy.
And what are you hoping to accomplish with it once it is completed?
Can't leave these people like this. We're here in this situation because of us. We need to save them from the Sith.
Well, I am doing my best on that front from where I am. The Queen is open to negotiation.
She blew up a city. 1.3 million people dead.
Yeah, well, that was because Astra spoke out in turn.
I can't leave them like this, Durro.
I'm inclined to agree. Again, I am in negotiations with the Queen. One of the items on the table is her leaving the Prakash alone and returning to her own borders, which will be clearly defined for us. We are not to interfere in her affairs, and she will not interfere in ours.
We've already interfered in her affairs. We have 9 of her navigators that we are not going to give back.
Yes, and she is willing to let bygones be bygones if we promise no further interference.
Small favors.
Well,
Tsara, was that?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Tsara, was that from you?
Don't forget what I told you about my vision, Durro. The future you was insistent that Astra not leave this system with the Queen.
And that is part of my negotiations as well. I have promised her Astra, but Astra
What?
when she actually trained enough to do what the Queen wishes. She will leave the system with us, continue training in her seer abilities.
And what of the other Astra, the one we call the clone? She's been injured. It was obvious she'd been attacked. She's hurt.
I promised her Astra. If the other Astra is a clone, then she will come with us.
The issue is that Astra doesn't believe she's the clone. She thinks the Astra that's with you is the clone. So there's about to be some confusion.
Tell you what, why don't you let me play the game that the Queen wishes to play with me, and I will leave you two to the tasks that you have been assigned. You are just going to have to trust me.
I do, Shara.
I do as well.
Good. I am glad to hear it, and I trust you two to do what you need to do, both to keep the girls safe and to ensure that everyone gets out of this alive.
Where is the problem? You say everyone.
Well, obviously, I can't mean everyone on this entire planet, but those of us who have pledged themselves to follow my command, those over whom I am directly responsible. I would like to get off this world safely.
That's priority number 3. Girls are first. Honor that. Second is to try and save this planet if we can. And then we'll leave.
And are you willing to sacrifice members of our crew to liberate the Kosh?
Isn't it what you would do?
It is what I myself would do, choose for myself. But at the end of the day, I have been reminded that I cannot save everyone. There is going to be death and chaos in the galaxy, and I cannot save the lives of every single living being. But there are those who I am directly responsible for, who have pledged to follow me and who I have pledged to protect. And I will ensure that they leave this planet alive.
Remind me when we're together again. About an interesting conversation I had with Gunir, where we discussed this very thing.
Yes,
One
I
more.
believe I saw it in my meditations.
Will we be leaving this channel open the entire time or closing it again? I'm just curious.
I recommend closing it if we leaving it open risks having it be discovered.
It's a blinded channel. No one would discover it, although you would find yourselves being stared at a little sideways about talking to yourself. And we can't hear anything but ourselves. Conversations that go on between you and someone else, we only get your side of.
Let me guess, this was something the professor came up with.
Indeed.
That man certainly has a unique way of thinking.
And he's programmed his droids, security first. Which reminds me, Chris can see her shake her head. That's a conversation I need to have with Handyman when I see him again.
I never
I would
thought
like
I'd
to
say
see
this,
Bill
but
then as well.
I never thought I'd say this, but I am grateful for this ability to communicate.
Yes, well, we all have our assignments, our instructions. I will simply
Indeed.
say to stay alert, remember our training, and may the force be with us.
You as well.
Indeed. Oh, wait! Durro,
Yes.
have a picture of Krisk's son.
Is there a way to send it to me?
Durro, he's Chiss. Like the girls.
Out of character, do we know that species designation yet?
Yeah, I was going to
Sorry,
say.
I was about to. That's why I made the course correction.
I don't.
You know what? At this stage in the game, just to save from confusion, yes, you guys know that name.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Woohoo.
I can easily see Durro uncovering it with his knowledge of Cheery's medallion and talking to her more.
Sorry, yeah, kiddo was on my lap, so I was trying to keep stuff going, but not hang you guys up.
No worries.
Mhm.
Well, you did say that he was an off-worlder.
Oh, his name is Kursak. If that was said correctly.
Kraska.
Kraska.
All right.
Yeah, so the picture, since I never really put any detail into it, is two Chiss, a mother holding a child.
Well, if there is a way in character for Durro to see that image, that will be useful. If not, he at least has a species and a name. That will be helpful.
No way I can think of. Oh wait, there is a way I can think of. Astra taught Hodge how to send images via telepathy.
You sure did.
Yep.
Hot damn. Michael was waiting for it.
I
That
forgot
was a
she
que-
taught that one.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead and post the send the image to Durro, seeing how she's sending that image directly to.
She's gonna have to try again. She failed pretty bad. Unless a 7 works. But
Take 10. Say
yes, I'm
I'm taking 10.
taking 10.
There you go. Send the image.
And she'll close her eyes and take that picture of the image of the picture that Kreese just showed her. Send it to Durro.
Out of character, is there an image that somebody found and chose, or are we just in character?
I will be absolutely honest with you. I have no idea.
An actual picture has not been selected. It's really hard to find stuff on Chiss in particular.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I can imagine Chiss children are probably hell on wheels.
Does that mean I have a project this week?
Could be fun, though. All right, well, it is 1:15. I really need to get to bed.
Okay. Good night. Oh, hey, remember, no game Saturday.
Why?
I'm going to the water park.
Okay, so that's news to me.
Yeah, me too. That's sad.
You said this last week.
Well, that's why I left you guys in the position you are. You can go ahead and still do in between.
Yep.
XP?
Got double birdies.
Double bird.
Amy,
Bastard.
Kitty, post birdies.
Everybody birdie.
Okay.
450.
Thank you.
Ah, thank you, Michael. Wait, I can't math.
That's why you use a calculator.
Or use your fingers.
Fingers can't count up to 20,000.
Yeah.
Okay, I also have to get to bed because tomorrow is going to be really, really, really long. So I will see you guys soon.
All right. Good night.
See you tomorrow, Davis.
Night.